Shobha Broota is one of the established contemporary Indian artists who has rotated the wheel of abstraction in an invigorative dimension. Brought up in a family that nurtured her artistic values from childhood, she feels privileged of having learned arts, music and dance. Her paintings chart an earthly layer and generate meanings that are deeper and transcendental. Her paintings have been described with varying criteria that underpin a sense of cosmic attributes while a staunch relevance to tantric forms. However, when it comes to herself, she explicitly confirms that she enjoys the process and loves taking up challenges. Broota is a voracious reader. However, her reading that plunges deep into her inner self reveals in exemplary successful paintings, a journey that requires immense patience, perseverance and an equanimous mind to perceive the object as it is. At the same time, she accepts the arising notations wherein each brush stroke converts into a permanent mark on the canvas. The express motifs of dot, line, form, colors, movements, and expansive territory of conscience lead her into a mystical realm. Broota has been a part of several national and international art exhibitions. India, post-independence, had seen a gamut of artists who experimented in abstraction, impressed by European modernism. However, as a postmodernist, she has charted a route that is bereft of influence regimes. Rather, to find a personal style, she travelled within herself to accord an individual analogy for the world of renewed abstractions in India. Broota's paintings do not look for descriptions, but one is titillated to derive meanings to arrive at an experimental ground, which the artist must have felt and undergone. Hello Shobha Aunty, thank you so much for having me in your studio today in Delhi. It is an honor to be in your presence and learn more about you and your works today. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure to have you here again.
Thank you. So Shobha Aunty, you have experimented throughout your life and expressed yourself through a lot of mediums, through painting, through music. You have a Sangeet Visharad and dance as well.
Yeah.
So can you tell us just a little bit about how that has been for you in your younger days?
I think it was all these art forms were initiated to me through my parents and through my school. So, that was a very good thing happening. I not knowing that I will be an artist or whatever, but all the creative activities I have been doing since childhood. Even theatre I have been doing in childhood in a very simpler way.
Yes.
But I have been doing all these for,
yes.
And it never, I never got, no, you don't have to do it, you have to study only. That pressure was not there in my home.
Okay.
So, that is also a very positive
yes.
thing happening
yes.
to a
yes.
child.
Yes.
That you are allowed to do whatever you want to pursue.
Yeah, express yourself
Yeah,
the way you want.
that's right.
Yes.
Huh. So learning, not even learning, even listening to music
Yes.
was very much like done in
Hanji.
my home also, and my parents used to take me to all these concerts which were happening in Delhi
Okay.
at that time since
Hanji.
very much childhood,
Acha.
very, say 4 years, 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started learning
Hmm.
when I was 4 years,
Hanji.
and then it never ended. Like till I was 23, I was singing in the concerts also.
Hmm.
And that was my additional thing happening with the schooling, education.
Yes.
So then obviously in arts also,
Yes.
school time only, it was, my art was appreciated so much that I was doing all the school work and everything. Shobha has to be there to do.
Hanji.
So that is how I
Yeah.
was, spent my childhood.
Yeah. And Auntie ji, your painting in the starting, you were doing a lot of realistic portraiture work, and then you moved to almost pure tantra abstractions. So how was that journey like? It was a long journey, but how was, briefly,
Right.
how was that journey like for
Okay.
you?
Yeah. I think I was expected to do all those realistic things since school time. So that skills, I think every artist was doing at that time, and there was no such thing that no, you don't have to know to make a flower or a tree or the skies, So everything was done in discipline, that this is also important, that is also important, and the same way all the mediums were important for us to go through.
Hanji.
So since school and then college also, my idea was, I was good in studies as well, so I was supposed to be doing something else rather than painting. But then I was insisting that no, I will paint. I want to do painting and all. So I got into college, and all through it was like, yes, this is important, so you have to do it. Yes, that is important, so you have to do it.
Yes.
So all the mediums simultaneously I used to work with. So in my system, I got interested in many mediums, and maybe I was good at one. So, if you are good at one, in the second thing also you could be good.
Yes.
It's like your sensibilities improve.
Yes.
So that is how it happened with me.
Yes.
Then after schooling, after college, then it continued. There was no, break away from here. Even when I was teaching in school and then in Triveni and other places, still I was doing my painting. So it was that one thing was very important. And then realistic painting, as I told you, that you are supposed to be doing to learn the skills, to improve your observation, to see things in their proper light, that is the first lesson every artist had to do at that time. Even now that is important. So the base has been formed through 11 years in school and then 5 years in college. Long time.
Yes.
So the base was very strong, and that is how I was able to do good portraiture, which was accepted by many people, and people used to come and get their models or family members or whatever, and then I used to paint them. I have done portraits of many of my class fellows and everything in college days. So I was just continuing even after college. But slowly and then gradually, it was like I know it. So when that level of understanding comes that there is not much to do next to it. You know everything, and it is a few hours of making a painting and all that. Then I got, little upset that there must be something else to it also. We have to go after it.
हाँ जी.
You know, something different, something new, and you are looking at the books and you are being told that, oh my God, that artist, that known artist, they paint like this, the other one paints like that. So one starts questioning that where I am, at what level I am. So that started worrying me, and I wanted to go forward. So that's how I slowly I stopped making portraits, and I found something different in my work through the portraits itself.
Yes.
So I took some elements of the portraiture, and that element was like the strokes I used to apply, the freedom I used to show there in portraiture as well. So that started me into a different, you know, line. So this is how it happened.
And Aunty ji, in the late 80s, you stopped touching the paintbrush to the canvas. You started using this technique where you flicked paint off of the brush onto the canvas.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about?
Yeah, because of the use of material. That was the question happening with me, that yes, I know how to apply paint like this. Next time I also know to apply how to print with the colors. Okay, that I also know. So if you know everything, then what do you do? But the point is, when you get dissatisfied with your own work, with your own results of your work, then you have to move somewhere, you know. So that is how when I discovered that no, I will try something else. The same colors I will try to apply with some different way. That opened up a new era for me. So I found the way I used to hold the brush, I used to flick the work, I used to get texture into my work. That was my experimental stage. For years and years I experimented in that area, and then somehow I stuck to that way of applying color, which is I call flicking on the canvas, and that is because there was a reason to it. That is because applying paint on the canvas or paper, I used to get a sharp line. The edge is always sharp when you apply a paint, but when you flick a paint, then the sharpness is gone, and that is where my pleasure lied, you know. I was very happy that I have, you know, got away from that harsh line, hard line, which was like applying paint directly on the book.
Correct.
So then I started working just with this kind of throwing colors on the canvas or paper.
Yes.
And it also, the beginning came when I used to do mono printing. I had no machine, so I used to do mono printing. And when you apply roller full of ink on the paper, the texture of the paper is revealed clearly. It becomes black and white. Black ink and white, the depth of the texture of the paper, that became my experience, which helped me go on and try. Then I tried to do the same thing I wanted to get on canvas, because I had enough of paperwork. I said, no, I will now change to canvas. And how to get that effect on the canvas, that was
a challenge. Yes.
It started there. From there, and then ultimately I found it, and then I stick to it, and still I do the same way. When I paint from the flicking technique, not directly on the canvas.
Yes. Your works are very minimalistic. You say in your interviews, you have said before that you only use what is necessary. You avoid what is unnecessary in your works. And it can be compared to like Euro-American minimalism. What is your take on that? How did you reach this point where you decided you want to sort of only use what is necessary, the colors, the mediums?
I think life experiences were also the cause of minimalizing. into my work.
हाँ जी.
Many things I not appreciated, it was like I didn't like this or that, whatever. So, I was moving towards, which I realized, that I was moving towards less and less in my life. Means I don't require that, I don't require that, I don't even require that. So, what do you require?
Yes.
So, that was the question. So, for that reason I started, you know, like a paintbrush I started using differently. It is the same way the elements in paintings which were coming into my work, the forms in painting, that also became minimal. To the extent that from figure to just a simple dot in the center, that was my journey.
Correct.
Through the years,
हाँ जी.
I was, you know, wanting something like that, rather nothing in the canvas, just a dot is enough. But that took me from figurative to non-figurative.
Yes.
You understand? From figurative to non-figurative in the process. It was a process going on inside and outside me. And in life itself, all my life, if I tell you the history of all my days and nights spent, then you understand that yes, it was not required, this was not required, that was not required. Everything became simple in my life. So, now the talking is also becoming simple in my life. I hardly talk, nothing to talk.
Yeah.
I feel there is nothing to talk. Only experience is very important. There is no, you do not have to translate everything what you do in your words. Words are also man-made. I feel that it is not required. Your expression says everything. Your behavior says everything. You do not require anything. So, that is how the process went on and on and on. Now only the canvas speaks for me, or just no color, just white canvas.
Or reach immaterialism through your materials.